Can't believe you did that.
I cannot believe you are questioning my decision.
She betrayed us. I knew she would.
I betrayed no one. I saved the Brotherhood. The invaders are too many and too strong. GDI troops are falling fast as our own. We're all in this together, like it or not. I had no choice. I made a deal with a desperate GDI commander. We are going to help them defend their base in Sydney.
How can she trust that weasel?
If that base falls, GDI will pull out of the region, and we simply cannot defend this entire country with our current arsenal. It's in our best interest to—
It's treason! Kane would never cut a deal with GDI.
Kane is dead.
And that's exactly what you wanted, isn't it?
What I want is a fully functioning arsenal of nuclear ICBMs. And while Nod is helping defend the GDI base, we will steal their launch codes and delivery systems of the warheads we've already captured. Look, Commander. Forming an alliance with GDI is unorthodox, I know. But right now, the invaders pose a greater threat than GDI, and I believe those missiles are the only way to defend ourselves against their forces. Everything depends on you, Commander.
Okay, so her plan's not totally stupid. Still, this is messed up. Helping GDI defend their lousy-ass city against the aliens? The world's upside down, man. Upside frickin' down. Okay. So I guess the plan is help GDI fight the invaders, but don't forget to steal GDI's nuclear launch codes so we can blow GDI all to hell after we help them whack the aliens, who are supposed to be our allies. Makes sense? Of course not. Women.
Ion control detected. Enemy units sighted.
Keep alert. They'll hide there.
Well, welcome back, Commander.
Construction options. Incoming transmission. GDI is being overwhelmed by the alien invaders. Destroying these 3 targets will drastically weaken the aliens. The codes to activate the stolen nuclear missiles are located in this GDI Strategic Launch Command.
Let's make this quick. More rockets. Let's make this quick.
Now, I'm not quite sure why AJ doesn't look at this as an opportunity to convince the people of Sydney, or at least Australia as a whole, that maybe Nod is the better option if GDI can't
Any area beyond
hold up their end of the deal.
should be considered high risk. Training.
Working with GDI. Kane would have never sanctioned this. Killian is negotiating with these fools when she should have been destroying them.
And while that's true, we don't necessarily know the true strength of these aliens, aka the Scrim. So maybe we can just like kind of cool it for a little bit.
The Brotherhood has
Building
entrusted
on hold. Cancelled.
It's a little strange because,
Construction complete.
especially this scenario, kind of lets you go back to a much simpler time in terms of base defenses, how to build up your forces, and so on. Now, the first thing you'll want to do is build some engineers, specifically for a reason that we'll come to see not too long from now.
Keep rocking.
But also, just basically focus on, like, 2 things. 1, building a hell of a lot of obelisks of light, and 2, building a lot of avatar walkers. You can supplement it with other stuff, like Black Hand Troopers, etc., but frankly speaking, it's not really necessary.
They have no idea. Stealth emitters ready.
Stealth tanks are nice as well, but I found that I only needed them for one specific reason. And again, we'll get to that in a short order. For all of the power that GDI usually displays, in this scenario, they're just very bad. There's not much you can do to save them. There's not much of a point to save them. They're kind of just screwed. I don't really know if there's some benefit that would come in for the player in order to boost GDI. But frankly speaking, I really don't think there's a point. I think the idea of sending a bunch of stealth tanks at the start of the mission to the GDI base, maybe you could protect them, but without having an outpost or something to build defensive structures, I just don't think that there's any long-term solution for the GDI base. And I'd rather not funnel a ton of money to them.
On my way. Copy that.
Training.
Now, for some strange reason, the AI just really wants to send units at this wall, and constantly has them attacked by a watchtower, although the watchtower itself doesn't really accomplish much.
We must get to
Carry on.
Since the buildings are available, and you might as well take advantage of them, you should absolutely capture the ion control.
Building.
It allows for a nice delivery option for the aliens. And speaking of them, we've also seen how devastating their base defenses are. It seems a little strange that they have something that's, I guess, in between the Obelisk of Light and the seen but not yet mentioned GDI defense.
Avatar ready.
It has an area of effect. It attacks decently quickly, and also just does a decent amount of damage, to the point where it can take out a lot of stealth tanks in very short order. It doesn't help that they also have a sort of nod approach to defensive structures, at least the minor ones, and again can be just annoying to have to deal with. I'm sure this is probably a mission where having a lot of beam cannons would probably be beneficial for the range and being able to take out buildings. However, I don't think I'm ever going to really build beam cannons in any significant numbers. Again, the Obelisk of Light is kind of something you just want to build en masse. The Skrin don't really use their air power just yet, so you don't really have to contend with having to build a lot of air defenses to go along with the Obelisks of the Light. Even in terms of vehicles like the stealth tank or infantry, such as missile squads.
Select target. Ion cannon activated.
And thankfully, the buildings that we have to destroy are pretty regular. I don't 100% know which ones are which, but essentially they follow the same rules as you would with GDI or NOD. One of them is your barracks, one of them is your war factory, etc., etc. Now, it is possible to use the shockwave artillery.
Man, this is really getting crazy now. Check out the new target I just got from Central Command. I'll upload the coordinates for you.
To essentially EMP the defenses, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I don't really know what the exact difference is. I was a little worried that I wouldn't be able to destroy the ion cannon. I don't think you get anything if it's the Skrin that do it, so might as well just call in some zone troopers and destroy the building myself.
They're done.
I don't quite know why you can't just sell the building either. It just seems like something that should be readily available to you. Perhaps it's because, looking on the map, it's changed owner, which I guess makes sense, but why take it away, I guess.
Bonus objective complete.
Before you start thinking that you're going crazy, yes, there seems to be a version of an ion storm that's developing above and is zapping some of my troops.
Unit under attack. Select target.
Ultimately, one of the weaknesses of the superpowers, or at least some of the supporting powers that Nod has, is they're all flying vehicles, so they end up being quite vulnerable to base defenses. Especially when those base defenses can simply one-shot these aircraft, which is not typically the case with other factions.
Target set. Under control.
Objective.
The gateway is down. Roll in the artillery.
Avatar.
Mission accomplished.